Fans, welcome to the Wolstein Center for tonight's matchup between the visiting Chicago PAO and the #1 seed, your hometown team, the Cleveland Browns. Introducing first, the #4 seed, Chicago PAO. In goal, #1, Jonathan Mendoza. #3, Abraham Coronado. #14, Ivan Mondragon. #8, Noradine Lamilki. #7, Adrian Cardenas. #9, Aldo Manzanes. #15, George Ochoa. #4, Christian Garcia. #10, Luis Marquez. #5, Isaac Diaz. #12, Angel Mariana. #17, George Roman. And #6, George Meredith. Head coach for Chicago, Denny Chronopolis. And now, for your Cleveland number 3, Dave Jordan. Also on the bench, number 2, Bobby Johnson. In the midfield, number 99, Giannis Schmidt. Midfielder, number 10, Admir Sulic. And up top, number 4, Mikey Derzic. Head coach for your crunch, Antonio Manford. Officials for tonight's game, crew chief Nick Ramos, Alex Casey, Tyler Turner, and Ryan Slack. Fans, if you are able, please rise for tonight's flag, presented by American Legion Post 572 Helicopter. Tonight's national anthem is presented by Haley Mahal.
Welcome inside the Wolstein Center on the campus of Cleveland State University. in downtown Cleveland for MLIS semifinal number 2 in the MLIS 2025 playoffs, as the number 1 seed Cleveland Crunch take on the number 4 seed PAO Chicago. I am Kevin Arnold. I am joined by the original, the OG voice of the Cleveland Crunch and indoor soccer playoffs. He is the one, the only, Mark Munch Bishop. Boy, oh boy, do we have one in store for us here tonight in game number 2.
Kevin, such a treat getting to be with you, the voice of the Cleveland Crunch. And, just walking into this building, they talk about a kid at Christmas, okay, and how many do we actually remember? We remember them at a young age, but just seeing the banners hanging where I was blessed to make the championship calls in 94 and 96. Of course, 95, the Harrisburg Heat triumph. But the bottom line is, it's a special building. It's good to be home. We have a elongated field, we'll call that, okay, with a few more yards added to it. But the bottom line is, such a special place to be, and the fans have come out in a big, big way. Looking at the Crunch players, talking to them before the game, most of them very focused. Okay, when I say most of them, they're all focused, but some of them a little lighter. Could you take a Ryan Minnick? Ryan Minnick looked like he's ready to get into a rumble, a street fight. It looked like something from the movie The Wanderers or West Side Story, but it was good because he's focused, okay? The gentleman from PAO Chicago, Panathinaikos, they are having the time of their life. They said they love this city. They, being from Chicago, which is a mega city, 6-7 million people, they said that they felt at home here, and they're ready to play too. One thing I wanted to hit you with, talking to Coach Manfoot, I said, all right, Coach, what happens? Longer field, less scoring? He goes, unless we get behind them. So it's something to keep an eye on today, because I don't see Admir, Mikey, and some of the other attackers, the train, Minnick, being stopped if they get behind the defense. And I know our guys want to punch them in the mouth first today, quote unquote, proverbially on the pitch.
As the captains meet at midfield, of course, the captain for the Crunch is Dave Jordan, and the commissioner, Bernie, is down there as well. Teams getting their final instructions. Now, PAO Chicago going 5-6 on the season. Record does not indicate what this team brings. Aggression that they bring, the skill and ability in tight spaces. We'll see how they adjust to a bigger field as well. Both of these teams, of course, the Crunch playing just about 15 minutes west of here at the Soccer Sportsplex in North Olmsted, Ohio, now getting a chance to come back to the original home of the Cleveland Crunch, the Wolstein Center, what used to be known as the Cleveland Convocation Center. It means a lot to a lot of people. Those are conversations to have at another time. We are here on behalf of the MLIS here on the Go Live stream, Go Live Sportscast video, courtesy of our team with LPV Productions, and audio with our friends WOBL Radio, Lorain County Country. We thank you all that are tuned in. 107.7 FM, AM 1320, the official home of Cleveland Crunch Soccer, sponsored this season by Miller Home Title in Sheffield Village. As the PA announcer, Nick Lanise, gets the crowd on their feet, yes, there is a home field advantage for the Cleveland Crunch. But in these types of situations, Munch, we just saw a match between Amarillo and Toronto that Amarillo took their first lead with 5 minutes to go in the match. They win 5-4, but a very low-scoring game with all these teams kind of playing in smaller confines, now getting a chance to play in the original setting.
The Canadians, I think, got a little lax in the first game when they had that lead. Then when it was time to pick it up, they weren't able to do that. Kudos to Amarillo. One thing I want to ask you, because we've got size, of course, in Super Mario Musa. When we look at the netminder for Chicago, again, he may be the old saying, it's not the size of the dog in a fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Jonathan Mendoza, not really a big man, but scrappy. I know he can get from post to post and get up to get the crossbar.
So Jonathan Mendoza will be in goal for PAO Chicago. It'll also be Abraham Coronado, Isaac Diaz, Aldo Monzonis, Luis Marquez, and Ivan Mondragon in as the starters for PAO Chicago. For the Crunch, Mario Musa in net, Gobi Chanchar, Dave Jordan, the captain on defense, Janis Schmidt, Admir Slivovich in the midfield. Admir comes in as the leading point getter in the league with 44, third in the league in goals with 26, and then his dangerous duo teammate up top, Mikey Derizic, as we are underway, 14:39, no score, Crunch and Chicago.
Definitely spreading things out early and often. The teams will have to adapt quickly. We'll see if someone can get behind someone else, because if you do that, there's a lot of pitch there.
Schmidt was looking for Suljevic in the middle. That one gets deflected away, and they'll send it back to Mendoza. Crunch on their high press. We saw in the first game, we saw Toronto, or as the Crunch saw this season, Toronto 3 different times. Both of those teams love the high press. We could tell from Amarillo they love the high press. But with a bigger field, they held back to kind of save their energy. Crunch coming right out with that high press to start.
Substitutions, knowing when, of course, there are some line changes, will be very important today with the bigger field. But you know what? When push comes to shove, that's not going to bother either of these teams.
Amir Suljevic over this free kick restart. A dangerous set piece for the Crunch early, 14-16 here in the first quarter. He'll go to Jordan with that left foot off the far post. Tried to curl it inside, and that one goes off the woodwork all the way back to Musa. McCain, Spragling, and Gabriel Piwu enter, along with Omar Najjar, who comes in. Aiden Bozak off the bench as well. The Crunch love to do these close to full line changes, and having a full roster here tonight. The PAO Chicago team having 3 less players on their bench. I know Cleveland's probably one of their messages from Antonio Manfoot. Tried to tire them out early. Chris Fecco now in the match. He's along the far boards. Turns, finds Najjar. Najjar sees the run of Spragling, finds Bozak instead. He'll drop it back. Far wall to Spragling, all the way back to midfield goes Chris Fecco.
You know, it's amazing the defenders on both these teams, the way they handle the ball. It's not like the old defenders, I'm just there to bang you. You know what I'm saying? They can move. They have foot skills that are unparalleled. That's for both squads.
Aldo Monzonis, the captain. Spragling went for the volley, and that one goes all the way out of play. Another thing these teams got to get used to, no nets around the field to keep that ball in play. Fans better be on their P's and Q's as much as the players this evening.
I was watching the first game from the low boards, and I had a cracker come about 3 feet from my head. I'm thinking, head on a swivel, Munch, head on a swivel.
Monzoni's the captain. Send it back, they'll find Mendoza, the goalkeeper. Mutemwa will pressure. Jordan, Monzoni's go back to back. Garcia turns it over. Then Brian Wolanski gets taken down by his number 14 counterpart, Ivan Mondragon.
They'll let them play to a point where it's physical, but not to a point where they shouldn't be doing things that they shouldn't be doing. If that sounds like a mouthful, it is.
Brian Kern into the match. It's a guy that loves to catch some of those balls that spill in front of the net. He wasn't there for that one. That time Minnick collects all the way back to Jordan. Crunch in the early possession, 12:24 to go. Feeble Arriaga on defense along with Omar Najjar. Arriaga will transition out for Bobby Chanchar. Crunch stay in possession deep off the wall. Mutemwa was trying to find Minnick. And then Isaac Diaz sends it out of play.
And once again, not just a larger field. You talked about no nets behind the goal. That would be glass in a lot of the stadiums that we have played in this league. In fact, that goes out and gives the Crunch a kick.
Head coach Antonio Manfoot barking out instructions. Another dangerous set piece. Suljevic back to Jordan. He goes with the left foot off the wall, trying to go to Najjar that time. Crunch trying to change things up on similar type plays. And now Diaz sends it back out of play. And this one will be set back in the middle of the pitch.
Already seeing Mendoza sees the ball real well. No matter if there's someone screening him in front, whether it's the defenders or the Crunch players trying to create some space in there, he's got a good eye for the ball.
Suljevic over it to Minnick. He'll take a shot. Great block by Luis Marquez. And then a shot that goes way out of play. Minnick and Svecko sprint off. Here comes Janis Schmidt, Brian Wolanski, Bobby Chanchar back in to the match.
Kevin, interesting. Crunch have pushed the play so far. Chicago seems to be content, though, the way they're playing. Maybe it's like a cat and a mouse kind of thing.
Foul on Chanchar. Luis Marquez takes that one. Spilled to the turf. And now PAO Chicago able to venture a little bit further out. You wonder if the Crunch were trying to shorten the field for themselves, hemming in PAO Chicago early and avoiding that end-to-end action on a much bigger field, trying to conserve energy that way. An interesting tactic from the Crunch, but now PAO Chicago spreading things out. They'll find Coronado deep in his own territory with Mendoza, the goalkeeper. Turn. They were looking for a foul, nothing doing. Pinball between two. Suljevic with a rip. Mendoza just got enough, and then a block. And Schmidt finishes the rebound.
Oh my! That's Johnny on the spot for Johnny Schmidt, and what a wonderful job Giannis has been doing. A young fella back in the flow, back in the game. He has really climbed the ladder each and every game he's played this year for the Crunch.
Giannis Schmidt gets the goal during the season. He had 10 goals for the Crunch. Admir Suljevic took a shot, got it saved, took another, got it blocked, and Giannis Schmidt, as you said, Munch, Johnny on the spot for Cleveland, and that gives them the 1-0 lead early, 11:23 here in quarter number one.
Boy, he cleaned that up like a broom in a dust mop that time to find the back of the net.
McCain Spraggling got a 2-on-2 with Bozak. Bozak will win a lot of races, but Coronado there to the test. He'll filter it all the way back to Jordan over midfield. Now into the offensive third. No one there in the back post, but Spraggling.
Will we see it?
Comes out of nowhere. McCain, the train, Spraggling. The team's pointing for it.
Here it comes, my friend. And
The
for those of
fans
you
want
watching,
it. The backflip celebration from the train gives them a 2-0 lead. Munch, they want to jump on them early, do the Crunch. They always love to get a fast start in quarter number one, and the Crunch do just that, and we will go to our first timeout of the game. 10:55 to go, opening quarter. Cleveland taking advantage of the home field advantage to start this match, up 2-0 early. Mark Munch, Bishop, and myself will be back in just a few moments.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
We are the guardians of those who need care the most. We deliver state-of-the-art care through deliberate focus on every person's needs. And we are relentless in our pursuit of health for every person. We fight for equity, inclusion, and diversity every day. We don't just acknowledge barriers that impact health, we are inspired to eliminate them. We are devoted to hope, health, and humanity. We are Metro Health.
Back inside the Wolstein Center on the campus of Cleveland State University, I'm Kevin Arnold, joined by Mark Munch Bishop for MLIS playoff semifinal number 2. The winner of this one taking on Amarillo Bombers on Sunday at 5. The Cleveland Crunch up early, 2-0 on goals from Giannis Schmidt and McCain, the train, Spraggling, as PAO Chicago looks to get back in this one. With, of course, the crowd advantage towards Cleveland.
Kevin, we noted that the Crunch wanted to punch PAO Chicago. Pastelcos in the mouth first. Chicago did it to the Crunch just a few weeks back in the Windy City, and they did it scoring their goals, which is Crunch style, 36 seconds apart.
Abraham Coronado on it. They'll send it across field, and they'll cycle it back to midfield to PAO Chicago. Thank you to everybody watching us on the Go Live Sportscast or listening on Lorain County Radio, 107.7 FM, AM 1320. Thanks to Miller Home Title in Sheffield Village, Ohio.
Always love being on the Cool Cat, plus love the music they play too.
PAO Chicago, a little bit more patience, 9:55 to go, trailing 2-0. Wolanski smart to head that one back, allowing his goalkeeper to pick it up. And an advantage for both of these goalkeepers who both like the long outlets. There's no net above the field either, so they can arc or go straight line as much as they want. They can vary it up on those outlet passes from their goal box here this evening.
Manzonas had bad intentions if you're the Crunch that time as he stuck behind the defense. They couldn't find him with the pass. Crunch back on the attack.
Suljevic on it. Near boards to the middle to Jordan. Right foots it to Suljevic. Great angled pass to Chanchar. He was looking for Piwu.
Great defense there to take it away from Piwu.
As the Crunch are in their red uniforms here tonight. Black lettering, black numbers, white trim, and black going down the both arms. Suljevic is looking for a pass. They also got the red shorts and white numbers, black lining. PAO Chicago in their green uniforms, white numbers, white trim, green shorts with white trim as well. Coronado will head that one across. PAO Chicago just faced a couple weeks ago this Cleveland Crunch team. And it was an 8-5 win for the Crunch, but not for lack of effort and lack of skill from PAO Chicago. They withstood the early storm of the Crunch in that one and ended up taking a 5-3 lead before the Crunch took control as the #1 seed, but definitely a team that knows the Crunch well.
Now, I'm laughing because the Chicago player went over to Schmidt, who was called the foul, and for the free kick, and it was just kind of like patting him on the back, saying that was a quick one.
Luis Marquez into the block of Jordan. Still off the wall. Chicago on it. That is Jorge Ochoa. He'll filter it back to Marquez.
Very
Blocked
poised.
off.
Marquez, he's the man that will set things up for you and pull the trigger.
Ball goes out of play. And it'll be a free kick for PAO Chicago and an opportunity they want to capitalize on. Trailing 2-0 with 8:15 to go. Opening quarter of this semifinal.
Musa is like a tiger or a lion, a beast of prey between the posts right now.
Mondragon and Ochoa try to get in front of him. That one sent right into the wall, but right back to the feet of Diaz.
Kevin, do you feel the 2-0 lead by the Crunch has told Chicago, we got to get on the attack here, gentlemen, and do it in a hurry? Because really the first few minutes, they were not attacking at all.
Musa with that outlet pass has Piwu. What a save by Marquez to send that one all the way down. Good read by Marquez.
Special player. Very focused, too. Both these teams know what's at stake. A shot at the championship game Sunday at 5 against the Amarillo Bombers. Chicago, very, very great awareness, trying to take away some of the Crunch breaks.
We get another timeout. We'll take a quick break here. 7:52 to go in quarter #1 of this semifinal. Crunch still up 2-0.
Contact us today. Visit youngvillage.com/contact. Make sure to check out Chef T Culinary Services, our universal catering sponsor in Easton. From scratch-made premium Chef T spice blends to Chef T barbecue mobile kitchen and catering, they take care of all your hungry needs. Visit them at www.cheftservices.com or follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back to the Go Live Sportscast and audio on WOBL Radio here in Northeast Ohio in Lorain County Country 107.7 FM, AM 1320, official home of Cleveland Crunch Soccer here in the Northeast Ohio area, courtesy of Miller Home Title in Sheffield Village. As we come out of this timeout, 7:52 to go first quarter. If you're just joining us, I'm Kevin Arnold, joined by the original voice of the Crunch and indoor soccer playoffs, Mark Munch Bishop, an absolute legend here in town in the sports industry. And the officials are having a long conversation coming out of this timeout. I'm making sure there were times, Munch, in the first game where they were looking to us. It's a new thing for me, of course, being in a bigger setting. They were looking to us to see if we were back from break or not, but other times they didn't. So when I would look, they wouldn't look to me. When I didn't look, they were like waving me down.
Is that the proverbial Murphy's Law? And for those of you watching, too, of course, on the ClevelandCrunch.com or MLIS Pro, behind the net now, over the left shoulder of the net monitor for Chicago, is a legendary Dancing Dan Cullen. He's got a red Ohio State jacket on, bottom pullover. Bottom line is when the Crunch score a goal, he goes into his gyrations. Became famous the first time through here in this building.
About to restart. Possession to Cleveland Crunch. As Chris Svecko for the Crunch will be over this one. That time, referees and us here up in the booth, all on the same page. And Musa will send it to Minnick, who tries to head. Great punch. Then McCain Spraglin goes for a shot that goes off the near post. Minnick off the wall, nobody there. Najar keeps it in, and Bozek collects far wall.
Great defense that time for Chicago, getting back in a hurry. Angel Barriga doing his thing in the middle of the box.
And now PAO Chicago looking to clear their lines.
My apologies, Ivan Mondragon.
Ivan gets it taken away, and the Crunch are right back in possession. 7:10 to go, opening quarter. Already up 2-0 on goals from Giannis Schmidt and McCain Spraglin. Svecko looking for a runner, has Mutemwa coming right off the bench. Svecko goes to the bench for Fibo Arriaga. Arriaga will get his first touch right off the bench at midfield. Send it back to Mutemwa. Couple step overs, dribble to the middle. Arriaga close to a handball there. Mendoza reads it right off the wall and sends Ivan the other way.
Great defense as two Chicago players collapsed on him immediately, him being Arriaga.
Isaac Diaz will give it back to Coronado. Dribbles all the way over midfield. And they'll get it back to Mendoza from the pressure from the Crunch. Mendoza looking for a runner. Has Diaz down there, but Jordan reads out of the air. Only passes it as far as midfield to Marquez.
Mendoza's staying back behind the yellow line. He doesn't want to come too far out on this bigger field. Let a ball get behind him or even a Crunch player slide behind him.
Marquez staying over the ball against Kern. Gets by him a half a step. Diaz tries the back heel to try to find Diaz again. And now Kern against Marquez. Marquez stronger. Had a runner in Coronado if he wanted him. He'll stay on it, seeing two Crunch players. Doing it all himself is Marquez. And it does filter back to Coronado along the near boards. Switch, header, Musa reads.
Boy, good shot that time. You're expecting it to drop down to your peg, and he just used the noggin to try to sneak it by Musa.
A powerful header on that far side. Just no one home. And now Jorge Roman enters for PAO Chicago. Giannis Schmidt. And they'll call just ball out of play going the other way. Coronado went down for a moment. Seems to be okay. And PAO Chicago stays in possession. A little bit more patience and control, confidence on the ball now in Chicago. As we said, weathering that early storm from the Crunch that they like to bring. Only down 2-0, 4:56 to go.
I'm glad you said the word only, because really, in this game of human pinball known as indoor soccer, that could, we saw the Crunch score within 36 seconds. That goes quickly. It can go quickly.
Roman collects the header from Najar. Finds Marquez. He's looking for Diaz. Header. Musa just reaches out for it. Diaz didn't get quite enough to get it by Musa.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Super Mario Musa.
Giannis Schmidt from Suljevic to Piwu, and off the post and in! Gabriel Piwu scores the pass from Schmidt. Schmidt with a goal and an assist to his name. Crunch take the 3-0 lead.
It was a thing of beauty. It was a textbook goal. PAO would not be defined, but Schmidt put it right on his foot. I tell you what, he just stuck it in that back post, too.
And if they kept stats like a hockey assist, Suljevic would get one of those. He started that. Really, there was only one extra touch from Schmidt in there. It was one touch from Suljevic, two from Schmidt, one from PAO. And the woodwork kind to PAO in the Crunch there. 4:23 to go in the first quarter. Now up 3-0. Chicago, though, has been building their attack. And it seems to be that they like those headers, and they can angle them the way that they want to, with Diaz and Marquez serving them in or trying to finish them.
I'll tell you this, right now we're seeing the old adage, ball beats man just about in any sport. That's what happened that last goal by the Crunch.
Great read by Marquez again. And just no one on that side. Diaz had kind of tracked back as he was catching his wind from some of those attacks he's had up against the Crunch goal. 3:43 to go. Crunch going right to left. PAO Chicago left to right. They'll switch at the start of the second quarter. Play 4 15-minute quarters. Of course, we'll go through overtime rules if we were to get to that situation right now. 3-0 Crunch. Goals by 3 different players.
Great passing by the Crunch. If nothing's there, to just pull it back and set it up and go at it again. This is why this is the #1 seed team.
Sveko. Minnick off the wall. Sveko is there. Just got underneath it. Great run by Sveko. Great read by Minnick. Just not able to convert. That one kind of kicked off the wall a little too much. Anybody that's played in this game, especially with the walls, knows what that feeling is like when that weird kick off the turf and wall happened to you. You just can't catch it with the right angle.
A little too much air that time. Again, nifty passing, though, once again for the Crunch.
Manzonis not able to win the ball. Najar Arriaga win it for the Crunch. Mikey Derzic off the bench quickly to Brian Kern, far wall. Off that wall, Najar tried to send it back across as that got deep into the near corner. And now Musa tries to get beat. And that one was close. Musa caught that one outside of his box in that square. His feet landed inside the square. Interesting call there by the officials, but we play on.
The one thing we noticed that now Chicago being down 3-0, if they see a shot, they're going to take it no matter where they are on the pitch.
So unlike the first semifinal, where both goalkeepers were well out of their box adding into the attack, we are not seeing that here. Whoever wins this match here tonight, of course, will have to deal with that adjustment from their opponent. But right now, the Crunch in control, 3-0, 1:53 to go here in quarter number 1. Off the wall, Jordan sends it all the way back to Musa.
Is it a respect thing that the netminders are staying back, Kevin?
It might be a respect thing, or it's just how they kind of operate. They like to distribute out of their own box. Suljevic found Jordan. Jordan taking off the ball, got ball first, did PAO Chicago. They can go the other way. Mendoza, the goalkeeper, with it. 1:22 to go. First quarter, PAO Chicago, the #4 seed, just won last weekend to get into the playoffs. They trail 3-0 to the Cleveland Crunch, who are the #1 seed, and went 11-1 during the regular season with only one loss in a shootout overtime to Toronto in a 3-game absolute epic trilogy between those two.
Just amazing. 1:05 left in the first, 3-0. It's been a power-packed first quarter of play. Once again, 3-0. But Chicago's had some brilliant chances, especially with flicking the headers. But Mario Musa's been up to the task on all of them. Now Musa up to the center line.
Musa now ventures out. I don't know, you want to call it commentator jinx. Just shut up the commentators is what that move does.
No,
right
you were
there.
saying exactly what happened. Both Mendoza and Musa were staying back in their nets.
And I know that both coaches feel comfortable with their goalkeepers coming out. Great header away. PAO had a chance to send that one across. And PAO Chicago clears it out only as far as Bozak. He's along the near boards. He finds Suljevic off the right post, the far post from Suljevic. He'll shoot again into the block. Might have come off Najjar. Suljevic goes down. Nothing called. Went down a little too easily. Now Manzonis against Chanchar. Manzonis runs through Chanchar.
And crunch ball.
Crunch ball, 13.1 seconds.
Uh-oh. Can you talk home? Home pitch advantage here. Crunch faithful up on their feet. Wanted some type of call there, but the Crunch got the ball. This is very physical indoor soccer. We saw it in the first game, too. 10 seconds left in the first.
Musa venturing out. Manzonis back guarding Omar Najjar. Musa is there wide open off the wall. Nobody there. And the clock will hit triple zeros. Musa was looking for the pass, but a great opening quarter for the Crunch. They had that focus, as Mark Munch-Bishop told you, coming in. PAO Chicago, though, building some momentum on their side, building some rhythm. We'll see what happens in the second quarter. We'll be back in just a few moments with the Crunch leading 3-0 in the MLIS semifinal number 2.
Combines group casual time with a mission to make a difference. From vegan and vegetarian options to halal-friendly business, there's something for everyone. E-Catering, Young Village serves Detroit, Cleveland, and Columbus with meals that are perfect for any event. Contact us today. Visit youngvillage.com/contact.
This is something new. Casper Slide Part 2, featuring the Platinum Band, and this time, we're gonna get funky. Funky. Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands. All right, now, we're gonna do the basic step. To the left. Take it back, man, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, let's go.
Let me see you move, Cleveland. Come on.
Turn it out. To the left. Take it back, man, y'all. One hop this time. Right foot, let's go. Left foot, let's go. Chop, chop, man, y'all. Now it's time to get funky. To the right now. To the left.
Welcome back inside the Wolstein Center, formerly known as the Convocation Center, former home of the Crunch and now home to the MLIS Playoffs 2025, here on the Go Live Sportscast, courtesy of the images and production from LPV Productions and audio here in the Northeast Ohio area on the official home for Cleveland Crunch Soccer. WOBL Radio, Lorain County Country, 107.7 FM, AM 1320, and streaming anywhere by going to WOBLradio.com. I am Kevin Arnold, joined by Mark Munch-Bishop, the original voice of the Crunch and indoor playoffs here in the city of Cleveland, as the Crunch took a 3-0 lead going into this second quarter, and we are underway as both teams will switch sides, and PAO Chicago going right to left, Crunch going left to right. Mutemwa with the high pressure early, and he wins it. Sveko to Mutemwa. Mutemwa was trying to maybe try to get a skip off the turf into the post. Mendoza, nothing doing there. he collects and sends PAO Chicago the other way as they look to build on some of that offensive momentum they had much late in that first quarter.
They certainly did, and quick scoring by the goal in the first. Schmidt at 11:31, Spraggan at 10:55. You heard me correctly, friends. 36 seconds apart, and then at 4:23 it was PAO, and that was just a textbook goal for indoor soccer players.
Schmidt wins it on the header to Kern along the near boards. 14:09 left here in the first half. Crunch with a 3-0 lead, looking to build on that. Derazic will send it back near midfield to Fibo Arriaga. Still in PAO Chicago's half of the field, deep into the near corner to Derazic, back up top to Arriaga as they play a little 1-2 game back and forth. Derazic on the touch, may have been looking for Najjar to take that one and then get the run. Now Manzoni's on the run for PAO Chicago with strength. Left foot, Schmidt gets back in front. Isaac Diaz still on it.
Boy,
bicycle kick, just didn't get enough. That may have been Marquez on the far post.
Young Mr. Schmidt doing it on offense and defense that time, stopping the Chicago run.
Brian Kern goes down and a foul will be called. Head coach Antonio Manfort would probably tell you Brian Kern is one of those guys you need to look out for on the pitch because you're not going to see him much in the stat book. He's just going to be one of those bulldogs on the field doing all the little things, winning the 50-50 balls and those types of things. And for PAO Chicago, they have several guys that have shown that they can do that here. They're just taking a lot of pressure from the Crunch early, 13:09, trailing 3-0.
The Crunch reminded me of the old General George Patton, attack, attack, attack.
Slivic's shot, excuse me there, Munch, goes wide. Jordan on it, left foot, just enough from Mendoza, what a save. And then PAO denied at the doorstep. Mendoza is fired up.
Two brilliant saves there by Mr. Mendoza, definitely earning his pay. Jonathan Mendoza, number 1 for PAO Chicago Panathinaikos.
Crunch were at the doorstep, and Mendoza said absolutely not, but PAO's back. Mendoza again at full stretch. He saves it. PAO, hands on his head, has no idea how, but the Crunch continue to attack. Slivich, near corner. Off to Chanchar. He tried to tuck that one far post off the outside of his foot. Think he came off too much of his toe, and that one goes all the way across to Mutemwa. Crunch still in possession. 12:08 here in quarter number 2 with a 3-0 lead, looking for more.
Mendoza was brilliant. 3 state-of-the-art, 3 generational saves there in less than a minute for Chicago.
Musa with a shot. That one just off the post. It was
definitely
past Mendoza, but went off the wall. Crunch maintained possession.
Kevin, I'm glad you mentioned Musa too, because in that first game, I saw each netminder take at least 4 shots apiece.
Cross from Minnick to Sveko. He'll go off the wall. Minnick with a header, and Mendoza again! He got from post to post and saves. Now Marquez able to turn. You wonder if that'll help build some momentum. A shot just over Musa, and Mutemwa will head it back. Now the action starts to pick up here in the second quarter. I said with those Mendoza saves, you wonder what kind of adrenaline and energy that instills into his teammates for PAO Chicago.
Well, Ochoa with a tremendous attempt that time to find the back of the net for Chicago, but just a little off. And a little means a lot in this game.
Giannis Schmidt got the scoring started. He's on it. He sends it to Mikey Derazic. Derazic, left foot to Schmidt, just a little too much on that, but Schmidt stays on it. Off the wall, Derazic couldn't get it. Then Jordan with the left-footed volley off the wall above the goal. Shots coming from everywhere from this Crunch team. PAO Chicago and Jonathan Mendoza standing on their heads. 10:33, quarter number 2. Cleveland Crunch 3, PAO Chicago 0.
Cleveland on the attack, Chicago up 2, playing defense, and they're doing it in a brilliant manner.
Luis Marquez gets his body in the way of Derazic, and then they will call the foul on Luis Marquez. I know he doesn't like it. There was a little bit more from Derazic there, but when you're on the ground, that is considered a dangerous play, and you are putting the person trying to defend the ball at a disadvantage. that the officials call back for a foul.
And no doubt Marquez is the man who stirs the drink for Chicago. He has been brilliant. Mendoza has been brilliant. This is one heck of a soccer team for the 4th seed and a 5-6 record on the year.
Off the wall, Sveko couldn't get it. Jordan again, off the wall above. Jordan is just inches away from sketching his name on that score sheet. But still, the glass and wood not in his favor. 10 minutes exactly left here in the first half. Crunch with the 3-0 lead.
Goalie's best friend, the crossbar in each post.
Chicago looking to break. John Shar is there.
But Bobby just did a great job of stopping that break.
Defending against Ochoa. But now Marquez against Wolanski, and Marquez goes down. That is a foul. I know Wolanski, he's not giving any, that hand in the air, that's not any sort of protest. That's just I tried to do my best, but it's a foul. You caught me. Najar clearing for the Crunch.
And talk about defense, 3 Crunch players collapsing on the PAO Chicago player who was down there along the left post to the left of Musa.
9:20 to go here in the second quarter. The Crunch lead 3-0, looking to move to Sunday's final. PAO Chicago looking for some momentum. And they, as we said, these two teams played just 2 weeks ago. PAO Chicago lost 8-5, but again, they were up and they were holding the lead against the Crunch in that match. And they withstood that early attack, and they've done so here. Can they find one goal to build that momentum? Crunch, though, not allowing them to even get it out of their own half as Mutemo's over it. In the final third with Piwu, he sends it back. Sveko, he filters it across to Jordan. Jordan into the far corner with Piwu. Mutemo making a late run. Isaac Diaz there, great positioning to help his goalkeeper come get that one with 8:23 to go here in half number 1.
Mendoza smothering any ball that he gets near. He has been brilliant. He's taken away at least 2 goals in the Crunch here in the second quarter.
Christian Garcia sends that one out for PAO Chicago, so restart to the Crunch, and they'll restart back to their goalkeeper. To Spraggling. Wow, Mendoza comes out with the header. Wasn't sure if that one was going to make it into his box, so he just heads it out as Spraggling was waiting maybe for that scissor kick, that famous scissor kick that he's been able to score a few goals on and put highlight reels up. But Mendoza, he is putting together one heck of a highlight reel himself, especially here in quarter number 2.
Boy, the Crunch love this free kick from the top.
Suljevic is yet to take a shot with that, and the Crunch will call time to set up this set piece opportunity with 8:12 to go here in half number 1, with the Crunch leading over PAO Chicago.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
We are the guardians of those who need care the most. We deliver state-of-the-art care through deliberate focus on every person's needs. And we are relentless in our pursuit of health for every person. We fight for equity, inclusion, and diversity every day. We don't just acknowledge barriers that impact health, we are inspired to eliminate them. We are devoted to hope, health, and humanity. We are Metro Health.
At Freeman, Damiano & Smith, we are always fighting for you. No matter the accident, no matter the injury, no matter the insurance company. We are fighting for you. Day, night, rain, shine, no exceptions. Suited up and armed with the experience and expertise. Always on your side, and we never give up. Call us for a free consultation. When you want to win, Freeman, Damiano & Smith.
And back we come inside the Wolstein Center MLIS semifinals here in 2025. As the Crunch come out of the timeout with a set piece. Jordan off the head of, might have been Sveko, as he is a little discombobulated. He will head towards the bench and get checked out by the physio on staff right now. That is Desmond Holmes. Jordan to Schmidt, scored the opening goals. The Crunch lead 3-0, 7:50 to go. Quarter number 2, ball into the stands. Fans definitely ready for that one.
Mendoza talking to his defense, so you got to drop back and help me out a little bit more, fellas. I didn't need to kick that one out of bounds and give the Crunch another set piece.
So right at the top of the box, that half circle kind of completes that box. Suljevic is yet to take a shot from this. He loves that shot, but 3 men in the wall. He's been able to pass off, just not able to finish. And a great job by PAO Chicago to get that block. And Suljevic was trying to find Minnick right into the block. PAO Chicago throwing what they can to defend and try to get on the counterattack.
That was great defense. I'll tell you what, Minnick lets it fly, and it's not for the faint of heart. 7:45 left in the half. 3-0 Crunch on top. Now a officials timeout, it looks.
Yeah, it looks like they will take the immediate timeout. Mark Munch, Bishop, and myself, we will step aside for this timeout with 7:45 to go. 3-0 Crunch on top of PAO Chicago here at the Wolstein Center.
At Freeman, Damiano, and Smith, we are always fighting for you. No matter the accident, no matter the injury, no matter the insurance company, we are fighting for you. Day, night, rain, shine, no exceptions. Suited up and armed with the experience and expertise, always on your side, and we never give up. Call us for a free consultation. When you want to win, Freeman, Damiano, and Smith.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you've ever seen. Not the cleanest, just the most honest.
Today, we're fixing a home's foundation.
I mean, that is like the most common thing to see in the world.
Pretty common, yeah.
Right.
So it's the soil that's eroding away, causing those cavities, those voids that the foundation then wants to settle into.
And then you guys with your superhero capes show up and fix everything.
Yes, sir.
Get a free and honest inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
And out of the timeout come PAO Chicago and the Cleveland Crunch here in MLIS playoff semifinal number 2. A spot in the final on the line. Crunch looking to get back to another final and maybe win back-to-back championships, but they have a long road ahead. Up 3-0. PAO Chicago doing a lot of defending here in the second quarter. I'm Kevin Arnold, joined by Mark Munch. Bishop, 7:45 is the time on the clock here in quarter number 2 with the Crunch up 3-0. And some conversation as the officials make sure everyone is set coming out.
It's interesting because Chicago players don't give any quarter whatsoever. The Crunch have had numerous attempts that were definitely looking to tickle the twine, and Chicago has turned their back, not just with Mendoza, but getting some stellar play from his defense too. Some good physical stellar play, if I may add.
Yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to Abraham Coronado. Number 3, if you see him, turned his back to our cameras just then. He is one of those defenders down there having to deal with guys like Mikey Derizic, Admir Suljevic, some of the top goal scorers in MLIS, and definitely doing a good job because this game easily could be 6 or 7-0 right now, Munch. But that defense, they're just looking for that one counterattack. And teams that go down early in a game like this, Munch, if you can get that counterattack and you can capitalize, what momentum can do for you, especially in an arena where the bounces off the wall and the turf can just cause so much havoc for both teams. Just one moment of bliss can really turn the tide.
Great defense there, as the Crunch wanted to capitalize on that shot off the boards, and Johnny on the spot was Aldo Manzones.
Mendoza sends it down. That one will bounce out of play, and it'll be the Crunch ball as they get it back from the people in the crowd.
I look for Mendoza to pull his passes more towards the center of the field. That's been 3 or 4 now of those last passes that have bounced out over the short boards.
And of course, both these teams used a little bit higher boards there on the sideline before it gets to the net. Spragling tips it back to Schmidt. And again, great defense by PAO Chicago. They just cannot clear their lines just yet. Najjar, far corner, and a goal from Omar Najjar. How in the world did he score from that angle? Omar Najjar, you are a wonder kid for sure. Crunch take the 4-0 lead, 7:16 in the second.
You know what, and I'm going to sound like somebody who took architecture in college decades ago, but if you took like a straight edge, I don't think you had a straight path to the goal from where Najjar was located that time. Boy, he just found the back of the net in the most powerful way.
He wrapped his outside of his foot around that one, got the curler past Mendoza, and the Crunch finally break through with a goal here in the second with so much pressure. And now here comes PAO Chicago.
4-0 is not insurmountable. Chicago cannot take too many chances. Remember I told you before the game, Coach Matt Foote said, watch when a couple of our guys get behind theirs, and that's what the Crunch have to be thinking right now.
Isaac Diaz on it, near corner. He'll dribble back, pass back to Mondragon.
6:40 in the half, 4-0 Crunch.
Here on the Go Live Sportscast, I'm Kevin Arnold, joined by Mark Munch Bishop. Our video and production as Dave Jordan goes deep in, hard into the wall. You could hear that one all the way up here, and he is on his back, and the blue card will come out.
Well, forearm came out too that time from the Chicago player. He's going to check on Jordan too in a big, big way. I mean, things happen in the passion of the game that once it happens, you can't take it back, but you're like, well, you know what, bro, I didn't mean that.
So Jordan goes down, checked on by his teammates. Up is Jordan, not needing any assistance to get off the field or anything, so you love to see that. And now the captain, Manzoni's the culprit, and will be in the box for 2 minutes. So from 6:29 to 4:29 on the clock here in the second. Crunch already up 4-0. They will be on the power play. A 5-4 man advantage on PAO Chicago.
Maldonis was okay shoulder to knee, but when the forearm came up, that's what sent him to the sin bin.
Based on the numbers coming in, how much you believe in numbers, the advantage to PAO Chicago, they kill off the penalty 60% of the time. With blocks like that from Luis Marquez, the Crunch would love to improve on their 39% conversion rate on the power play. For as dangerous as this offense is, that number is exceptionally low.
I agree with you 100%, especially for the firepower out there on the pitch now for the Cleveland Crunch.
Jordan sends it all the way across to Derizic, 5:54 on the clock. Suljevic at the top, just over the yellow line on their offensive half. Derizic goes for a shot, lifts it all the way up and out. So PAO Chicago will get a restart and can kill off some of that time, sending this ball as far as they can down the pitch. 5:46, clock stops, back underway. 4-0 Crunch on the power play. Off the blue card and foul from Manzoni's. Here comes Jordan, who was tripped into the wall, and he gets tripped going into the box. Suljevic,
you saw that. You saw that coming. Suljevic standing all alone. Mendoza had to come out to challenge the ball on the foot in the box, and boy, right to Admir, who finds the back of the net.
So 57 seconds into the power play, not even a minute goes by before one of the top goal scorers and definitely the top point getter in MLIS, the one, the only, Admir Suljevic, finds the back of the net. That header game that the PAO Chicago was playing in the first quarter, the Crunch go right back at him, and they go up 5-0.
When's the last time we haven't said Suljevic's name until way into with 5 minutes left in the half?
So Luis Marquez and PAO Chicago will look for some answers. They've been able to generate some of the attack. They had good opportunities in the first quarter, but here in the second, not much in front of Musa. 5-11, ticking second quarter clock.
Kevin, I'm sorry, you mentioned the offense in the Crunch. Well, what you just alluded to, too, was the defense they're playing is brilliant.
It's hard to keep a 0 up on the board in the indoor game with the walls coming into play. Diaz putting pressure. Monzonis against Mutemwa. Now Mutemwa with the speed up the middle of the pitch. All the way down, 3 step overs, and off the post, actually in the back of the net. It hit the back post.
Oh my!
It was hit so hard, the ball came right back out, made it look like it was a miss, but it was not. Mutemwa, the solo effort makes it 6-0.
Mutemwa with a sprint. His ball skill was unbelievable. For him to strike a ball that hard, that was a powder keg of a leg that time on that one, finding the back of the net. And we talk about the flurries of that one coming just 50 seconds after the Suljevic goal.
Sammy Mutemwa, step over once, step over twice, step over a third time, and Mutemwa with the right-footed rocket to make it a 6-0 lead. Crunch in control and still keeping that pressure up. They are trying to send a message here in semifinal number 2. Has PAO on it. Mendoza gets a mitt to it, only as far as Arriaga. Now on the foot of Schmidt. The nutmeg. PAO left foot out. What a highlight that would have been as Schmidt nutmegged his defender in Christian Garcia. Found PAO, just couldn't get the finishing touch right.
One of the things I enjoy is watching the young players. Who knew Jonas Schmidt when the season started? Very few. Everybody knows who Jonas Schmidt is now, especially the opponents in the Crunch.
And if you've gone out through the outdoor games with Cleveland SC, you have seen the stylings of Jonas Schmidt as he brings it to the indoor game and just adds to the depth, the wealthy depth of the Crunch, where they can go to so many different talents and somehow still find that young talent to keep this championship philosophy that they have strong and ever present. PAO goes down on the foul from Garcia.
I actually thought that was going to be a play on, but just enough contact that time.
Yep. I know the fans were looking. I know the. So Suljevic will be over this one. A little bit far out. He's taken adventures in shots before. He'll just chip, but nowhere near Aiden Bozak. Great defense there by Chicago, but Suljevic there to collect the loose change in the middle of the pitch.
Talk about orchestra conductors, this Admir, no doubt.
Bozak over to Najjar, far side. Touch gets away, left-footed goal! Najjar put it just enough in front of him. Planted with the right, shot with the left.
Omar, second of the period. First one, of course, at 7:16. This one coming at 3:28. 7-0 Crunch. You talk about a flurry, you talk about momentum. It's all the Cleveland Crunch right now.
3 goals in the first, 4 on the board now. As they were having trouble finishing early, Mendoza was standing on his head in goal. And then once one went in, that flurry, they call, I haven't figured out the term yet, Munch, they call it a cavalanche for the Cavaliers, for this Crunch team. They just come in waves and waves and waves. 3:18, they lead 7-0. Musa forced into a kick save, out of play. Trying to see where that ball went out, went to the far corner, so it'll be a corner instead of at the top of the box. These are the opportunities PAO needs to pounce on to get back in. Header coming in from George Maritas. Mendoza now, he's venturing out a goal, trying to add the extra attacker. Suljevic sees him out. He's going for the chip, and he'll just send it back. 2:57 now left in the first half. Crunch well in control, 7-0. Musa will find Minnick along the near boards.
Now you see a line change by the Crunch. Sometimes they get stronger. I mean, the depth is unbelievable. I'm not a big next man up, Kevin, but there's a reason why a person's the next man up. But the Crunch team, the next man up means something.
Musa trying to find Minnick. He does collect it, traps it with his head, down to his feet, cross to Bozak. What a sliding save by Garcia. Minnick stays with it, finds Sveko, far side of the field. They continue to attack with 2:14 here in half number one. Minnick gets the push. The push coming from Jorge Ochoa.
When you see the arms extend and the elbows lock straight out, you're going to get the call. Or you're not going to get the call if you're the defender.
And that's some tired, frustrating defending from PAO Chicago. Coach Denny of PAO Chicago, especially in the locker room, and I'm sure he's telling his team when they come to the sideline and yelling out to the field, you have to stay in it mentally. We have to capitalize on opportunities. You never know if you start to chip away. Suljevic leaves it for Jordan. That one got tipped.
Little squibber. Those things will slide by at times.
Suljevic goes down, gets back on his feet. As we go end to end here, Suljevic with it. Mendoza not able to stop it. He is inevitable. The one, the only. Admir Suljevic makes it 8-0. 1:53 left here in the first half. And the Crunch are absolutely on a roll.
Do not make a mistake if you're trying to control the ball when Admir Suljevic is in your neighborhood. That's exactly what he did. And I know we're up in the second section here in the great Wolstein Center, but I saw the look on his face. It was basically like, I got you, sucker. 8-0. Suljevic, 153. That could be the backbreaker with only 153 left in the half.
1:47 now as the clock ticks. PAO with an opportunity. Crunch looking to hold, serve, keep them off the board here in the first half, which is an accomplishment within itself here in the indoor game. Spragling wins it off the wall. High press now from Chicago, taking more chances. Shot off his own teammate.
And you don't think a clean sheet matters to the defense and to the netminder? It certainly does. Last year we called a game at the IX Center, one of the few there, when Mario threw a shutout. And the bottom line is he had a big smile, and all he said to me the next day was, clean sheet, Butch, clean sheet.
That shot was coming in from one of the favorite names I've ever called in a match in any sort of sport, Noureddin Lamilki. P.W. wins
it's poetic.
It is. Spragling trying to find Najjar, who's on a hat trick, has 2 goals in this match. So does Suljevic.
But talk about unselfish. Spragling had a shot that time, but was looking for a better shot from his teammate.
With 1 minute to go, Luis Marquez doing a lot of defending, a lot of the offensive work. And it looks like a foul will be called
on Gabriel P.W.
On P.W. And that'll be the 6th foul on the Crunch. That leads to a shootout opportunity for PAO Chicago with 53.9. And this is, again, this is the old MLS style. This is what the indoor game is. On your penalty kick, most of the time in the indoor game, the attacker gets the running start. Goalie tries to come out, cut off the angles. It's Marquez versus Musa. Referees get Musa's back foot on that line. He tries to get that advantage, that running start coming out. Whistle goes. Marquez with a finish. Cool, calm, and collected from Luis Marquez on a well-earned goal. Puts PAO Chicago on the board. 8-1, they trail with 53.1 seconds. Not a lot Musa could do. Marquez was quick, he was decisive, and he puts it in the back of the net with his left foot.
Glad you noted that, because that's why he scored. He knew exactly what he was going to do. No hesitation in any way, shape, or form. You hesitate against Mario Musa, he's going to stuff you.
50 seconds, we're back underway. Suljevic calling for it on the near side. Schmidt was going for Spragling in the corner. Gets dispossessed, but he wins it back. He goes off the wall. Chicago looking to press, maybe try to get one more. Feeling a little bit of that energy. One goal can do a lot for you. Jordan pressured by Roman. He gets away. All the way up to midfield, cross to Suljevic, near corner. He'll turn away, goes down, and a foul will be called on PAO Chicago. That will be their 6th. And now the Crunch look to answer right back with a shootout opportunity of their own. And I imagine sitting on a hat trick, Admir Suljevic will be over this one. As he is, and will step up to take it. 17 seconds left, second quarter. Crunch 8, Chicago 1.
You know, I see the greats of indoor soccer, whether it was Karic, Marinero, the Pikuzinskis, I can go on and on. This is one of them right there, and Admir Suljevic.
Coming up just before we head to the halftime break, we'll have our own Gianluca Di Giacomo, our sideline reporter, catch up with Antonio Manfoot going to the locker room. Sure, there's a lot he likes, a lot to clean up as well, as they're always looking, battling themselves and looking to improve. Here's Suljevic, gets the whistle, and a finish. Just like Marquez, almost like a replay on the opposite side. Cool, calm, and collected. I can use those 3 adjectives once again. And Suljevic gets his hat trick with 13.9, makes it 9-1 Crunch.
Hey, Kevin, I just got a text on my phone, which I'm trying to avoid for calling a game. They said, Munch, are you okay? I've never felt better. But one thing I've neglected today, Suljevic on that shootout, 17 seconds left in the half. Goal!
Marquez goes for a shot with 5 seconds to go. Crunch just looking to play this one out. And they will. The announcer announces the goal. We hit halftime as the Crunch here at home finally getting an opportunity to play in the organization's original home. And boy, oh boy, they have put it on PAO Chicago to start. Chicago getting a little momentum with the goal from Marquez. We'll give it one moment here as our own Gianluca Di Giacomo will catch up with head coach Antonio Manfoot.
Does a Suljevic goal take away that momentum? Coming right back, 8-0, all of a sudden 8-1. It's like, okay, 7 goals can happen, bang, 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 in indoor soccer, in MSL, and Major League Indoor Soccer. Did the Suljevic goal quiet down any momentum that Chicago had?
It did. It absolutely did. When you get a response just like that, and you go back to your original lead, it definitely quiets a lot of momentum. Let's go down to Gianluca Di Giacomo with head coach Antonio Manfoot.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're down here on the sideline in the Wolstein Center with head coach Antonio Manfoot. Coach, you guys have found yourselves up by a pretty sizable margin at the half. Just initial thoughts on your first half.
I mean, there's not much you could really ask for in a better half right there. I mean, we gave up the 1. I know that was our goal to try to keep it at 0. Anytime you keep any low scoring in indoors, unbelievable. So I'm proud of you guys, but there's a lot of work still to get done.
Absolutely. And just talk me through this season. I mean, it's been come full circle for you in this game. You've seen your young guys like Giannis and Omar step up to the plate. You've seen the veterans like Admir and Mikey and Bobby and Dave. I mean, talk to me. How has it been like working with this team and kind of incorporating the new generation with here for so long?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Like you said, we have a lot of talented young guys, but the thing is from them is that they're willing to learn, and they're very humble. So, like I said, I have a system, and I kind of run a strict ship here, but everyone listens well, and they have their own style, and they do their own creativity. So a lot of it's the system, and then sometimes these guys are just magic, and the combination of the guys and the young guys is
Absolutely. And finally, of course, like you said, plenty of work to do. You still have one half of soccer left before you can secure an MLIS championship spot. What are your room for improvement? And, I mean, what's the message you're going to be telling the lads in the back?
No, I mean, enjoy the moment, sure, but it's still about discipline. We have another half to play, and there's a lot still to do. So we can't let the highs get too high, can't let the lows get too low. Just be disciplined and any more goals.
Absolutely. That was head coach Antonio Manfoot of the Cleveland Crunch. We'll send it back up to you guys.
Thank you so much, Gianluca Di Giacomo, and we will send it to our halftime break here on the Go Live Sportscast with production courtesy of LPV Productions. Also audio here in Northeast Ohio on the Lorraine County Country 107.7 FM, AM 1320, WOBOradio.com. Lorraine County Country, the official home of Cleveland Crunch Soccer, courtesy of Miller Home Title in Sheffield Village. Mark Munch Bishop and myself, Kevin Arnold, will be back for your second half action in just a few moments.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
We are the guardians of those who need care the most. We deliver state-of-the-art care through deliberate focus on every person's needs. And we are relentless in our pursuit of health for every person. We fight for equity, inclusion, and diversity every day. We don't just acknowledge barriers that impact health, we are inspired to eliminate them. We are devoted to hope, health, and humanity. We are Metro Health. We are the guardians of those who need care the most. We deliver state-of-the-art care through deliberate focus on every person's needs. And we are relentless in our pursuit of health for every person. We fight for equity, inclusion, and diversity every day. We don't just acknowledge barriers that impact health, we are inspired to eliminate them. We are devoted to hope, health, and humanity. We are Metro Health.
someday. Today, tomorrow, every day. And game face is our only face. We're not normal. Normal doesn't run everywhere or take a stopwatch to everything. Normal doesn't dedicate itself to never letting its customers down. Not a single one. Never. Ever. Ever. Normal doesn't live to beat the rush. Obsessed about out-the-door times? That's not normal. Counting pepperoni in your sleep? Not normal. Normal is average. Normal is ordinary. Normal is what people expect. Normal doesn't have pizza sauce flowing through its veins. The other guy is normal. That's why no one delivers like we do.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you've ever seen. Not the cleanest, just the most honest.
Today, we're fixing a home's foundation.
I mean, that is like the most common thing to see in the world.
Pretty common, yeah.
Right.
So it's the soil that's eroding away, causing those cavities, those voids that the foundation then wants to settle into.
And then you guys with your superhero capes show up and fix everything.
Yes, sir.
Get a free and honest inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
We are the guardians of those who need care the most. We deliver state-of-the-art care through deliberate focus on every person's needs. And we are relentless in our pursuit of health for every person. We fight for equity, inclusion, and diversity every day. We don't just acknowledge barriers that impact health, we are inspired to eliminate them. We are devoted to hope, health, and humanity. We are Metro Health.
At Freeman, Damiano & Smith, we are always fighting for you. No matter the accident, no matter the injury, no matter the insurance company, we are fighting for you. Day, night, rain, shine, no exceptions. Suited up and armed with the experience and expertise, always on your side, and we never give up. Call us for a free consultation. When you want to win, Freeman, Damiano & Smith.
Hopefully you enjoyed those scenes in the background for our halftime entertainment here. MLIS semifinal number 2 as the Cleveland Crunch lead 9-1 over PAO Chicago with a trip to the championship game on the line. I am Kevin Arnold. I am joined here on the call by Mark Munch Bishop, the original voice of the Crunch and indoor soccer playoffs right here in Cleveland, Ohio. We are on the Go Live Sportscast, courtesy of production from LPV Productions and audio being streamed out to our friends here in Northeast Ohio at WOBL Radio, Lorain County Country, 107.7 FM, AM 1320, and always streaming on WOBLradio.com. That all comes courtesy here to the people in Northeast Ohio of Miller Home Title in Sheffield Village. Munch, your thoughts on that first half and the scoring that we saw? It was all over the board, but the one, the only Admir Suljevic started to stake claim there in the second quarter.
Well, the bottom line is the Crunch scored early. They scored often. We talk about the flurry, the cacophony, the symphony of destruction, and right now the Crunch are aiming that way. We'll see how they come out in the second. We'll see what Chicago does to counter. But the bottom line is the scoring started a little more than 3 minutes into the game when Schmidt found the back of the net at 11:31. Then 36 seconds later at 10:55, it was Spragley. And yes, we got the wall backflip. It was 2-0 Crunch. First quarter ended at 4:23. Piru with a nice assist from Schmidt, and it was 3-0 Crunch at the end of one. Now into the second quarter of play, we went almost 8 minutes when Najjar finally found the back of the net at 7:16. It was 4-0 Crunch, and then a man who you're not going to see very often kept off the score sheet. Admir Suljevic power play goal at 5:32 of the second made it 5-0. Well, talk about flurries. 50-second later, Sami Mutomwa on just a brilliant run to the goal made it 6-0. At 3:28, it was Omar Najjar, 7-0. 1:53, Admir Suljevic again, 8-0. Then a shootout goal by Marquez with 53 seconds, 8-1. And Suljevic finished it with a shootout goal with 17 seconds left. 9-1 is where we stand now. Kevin, all you.
That is exactly why I bring Mark Munch Bishop here to run down all of that for you. The scoring summary, and now underway here in quarter number 3 with the Crunch on top, 9-1, 14:26 to go. Musa venturing out of nets. PAO Chicago was looking for an open goal for the to get back in the game, as we got plenty of people walking by our little broadcast area here, waving and having a great time here at the Wolstein Center. What a great job the Crunch organization and the entire MLIS showing by PAO Chicago, Amarillo, Toronto, and of course the Crunch and the show the Crunch are putting on here with the home digs.
And yeah, people are doing some traveling. I've seen some Amarillo sweatshirts and hoodies in the crowd, Canadian Crusaders, and of course some PAO Chicago.
That's how big this sport can be. There's plenty of soccer fans all over this country. It continues to grow year by year, month by month, day by day. I could go on, but I won't bore you with the way I could break that down. 13:43 left here in quarter number 3. Still 9-1 Crunch as Piwu sees that one out over the boards for a free kick for the Crunch. Omar Najjar, Chris Vecco, Aiden Bozak, and McCain Spragling join him. Jonathan Mendoza still in net.
Mendoza, I know you look at the ledger and he's given up 9 goals. He has been superb. And it could be another 9 on the board for the Crunch.
As Monzonis wins it to Diaz. He gets it back from Marquez. Looking for Coronado. He'll find Mendoza, send Coronado on a run up the boards. Diaz tries to open up, nothing doing there. And then out of play it goes off the foot of Mondragon for a free kick for the Crunch. Again, they'll bring in more subs.
Chicago needs to keep the ball in play, turn and fire. Simple as that. Down 8 goals. They need to put something on the board.
So Fibo Arriaga for the Crunch will send it to Musa. He'll send it all the way down right to left to Piwu. Not able to collect. Jordan does get it off the wall as that filtered back towards midfield. Now to the near boards to Aiden Bozak. Back to Arriaga. Looks up to look and see what he has. A little bit of a slower start to this third quarter. Of course, Crunch in control. PAO Chicago trying to get as many possessions as they can and capitalize, but they continue to send it out as Mondragoon, was the pronunciation there. We did get some corrections there at halftime. We appreciate everyone that has done that. Really appreciate all the teams for sending their rosters, their starters, and pronunciations to make sure everyone gets represented the right way to be in such a big spot here in the semifinals. The Crunch find themselves in a big spot here as they are back right at the top of the box with Suljevic over this set piece opportunity. He'll find Najar, left foot. Mendoza gets his mitts up to send that one away. Mendoza down to the ground, took a weird bounce. Somehow he scooped that one up.
It was like a Hoover that time, making sure sweeping the area in front of the goal mouth because that ball was heading to the back of the net.
So they'll send it across. That was Lamilky to Mendoza as he is near midfield. He'll get it down in the corner to Ochoa. Ochoa gets dispossessed, and he will chase it all the way down. Suljevic got the block. Ochoa was faster back to the ball.
12 minutes in the third. If you're Chicago, you can't afford to have the Crunch keep punching it back to the other to their offensive end. Chicago needs to mount an offensive attack.
Wolanski comes in, gets a touch to Suljevic, and now he'll check out for Derizic. 11:40 to go here in quarter number 3. Crunch still hold the 9-1 lead, looking to punch their ticket to the championship game. PAO Chicago defending with everything that they have, looking for more opportunities here in the third. But as you just said, Mark, it is the Crunch that continue to win the ball, maintain possession, making it more and more difficult. You waste so much energy on defense, don't you, Munch?
You certainly do, and what happens too is the Crunch, there's nothing there. They're just send it back to Moose. And what happens then? The clock keeps ticking. 11 minutes now left in the third, 9-1 Crunch.
Derizic collects, far corner off the wall. Jordan there, Mendoza, another great save. And now Chicago on the break, 3-on-2. Over to Ochoa, off the wall. Schmidt gets back and collects. Crunch look for a foul, nothing coming. And now here comes Coronado. Coronado, great pass up the wall. Chanchar was there, misread off the foot from Garcia. And now it'll be a free kick for the Crunch near midfield along that far wall, right in front of the sign. I believe that is a sign for head coach Antonio Manfoot's soccer academy, soccer training program that he puts together, AMST. And so both of these organizations and all the organizations that we see do such a great job along the community and getting kids continue to be engaged in the sport of soccer.
Well, I'll tell you what, you want to learn the game, Coach Antonio Manfoot is a man to learn it from, and you're seeing the product right now on the pitch.
10-17, 9-1 Crunch. Najar to Spradling off the wall. Bozak goes for the header. PAO Chicago wins it. Isaac Diaz on the sprint, wisely tracks it back as the Crunch got it back in transition.
PBU was a stone wall that time, and Chicago tried to push it up along the far boards.
Diaz looking for someone to come and help as that pressure, that high press from the Crunch, even on a bigger field. These guys, the energy that they have, the cardio it takes to play in a sport like this, they have definitely put the cardio work in, trying to build on the championships that they've won in their organization history, especially last year being the MLIS champions.
Kevin, I've had football players, I've had basketball players, I'm talking professional, tell me that they're in awe of the physical shape of indoor soccer players.
Clock continues to move. Pretty clean quarter here so far. Diaz, Marquez. Marquez will find Coronado. Wins it in front of Sveko. That one tips off of Bozak, and he wins it. Marquez there to win it back. Marquez doing a lot of that work. Step over. Jordan brings him down. Jordan kind of knew it as he put up the hands. When you slightly put up the hands, and those that are listening on Lorain County Radio, WOBL, when you just sneak those hands up like I didn't. Actually, yes, you caught me. I did it. Let's move on.
Dave Jordan, one of the gentlemen in this game, the captain, of course, of the Cleveland Crunch.
Mendoza out. He'll send it far side. As the Crunch hem him in again. Minnick wins that one. That one stays in. Takes a bounce off the wall. Minnick goes to pressure. Mendoza collects as it rolls right along the base of the corner boards. Manzoni's now.
Nothing there. Jordan there to stop the break.
Diaz getting frustrated. Manzoni's getting frustrated as they make passes. Nothing, no movement coming off of it. This is not the same team that we saw this season. That was just everywhere and anywhere on the field. That's the type of pressure that they've faced against the Crunch and the type of energy they've had to expound just trying to win the ball and win possessions. 8:02, the clock stops. 9-1 Crunch here in the third quarter.
You're looking for an overlap, too, from some of your mates on the break, and Chicago not getting that. And, again, the frustration setting in just a bit. Bottom line is, this is a good team that's being dismantled right now by the Cleveland Crunch.
Coronado. You can tell that this is a PAO Chicago team, guys that have played together a lot, just like with the Crunch. And now a blue card comes out as Coronado takes a shot at Arriaga. Arriaga is down. It was away from the play, and it was unnecessary.
Could it be frustration now at 9-1 with 7:52 left in the third, especially since Chicago is having trouble mounting any offense?
It's definitely frustration, but not something that Coach Benny for PAO Chicago wants to see his guys partake in. That's not the type of way that frustration is let out. And no matter if you're a coach of one of these teams here in the playoffs this weekend, all the way down to the youth levels, that is absolutely not what you want to see and not something that PAO Chicago is known for doing. And I know Coronado will probably be talked to once he gets back to the bench, but now he goes in to the box and the Crunch go on the power play with 7:49 left here in the third. No goals scored this quarter. 9-1 still our score. Crunch on top. I'm Kevin Arnold, joined by Mark Munch Bishop here on the Go Live Sportscast and WOBL Radio, Lorain County Country. 107.7 FM, AM 1320, WOBLradio.com. Thank you to Miller Home Title.
I'm seeing surgery right here by the Crunch.
As they continue to move that ball up a man, 5-on-4. Minnick wide open, finds Najar, unselfish, trying to find Darazic to get his name on the score sheet. A little too unselfish there, and that can actually happen. That can absolutely happen in the game of soccer. Now Manzoni's one-on-one against Jordan, and the turf monster comes into play as he was looking for a shorthanded goal. 6:56. Clock continues to tick.
Finding the extra pass is always good with someone with a better shot, but sometimes the extra pass will cost you a goal, and that's what happened that time to the Crunch.
Suljevic at the point. It's deflected, gets it back to Jordan, back to Suljevic. Great deflection by Marquez, and he goes down as Suljevic went through him, and they will stop play as it looked like as Suljevic was going for the ball, may have caught Marquez with his knee or his leg as Marquez was down on the ground with that sliding stop preventing the goal scoring opportunity.
And the first one over to him, Admir Suljevic. Ball was going back the other way towards the Crunch goal. Bottom line is Suljevic stopped to check on Marquez. That is the gentlemanly demeanor of this game, even though it does get very physical on occasion.
So it will be a restart. Good to see Luis Marquez able to stay in it. Clock stops, 6:35 here in the third. And we will get a timeout. It's our first timeout of the third quarter with 6:35 to go. And the Crunch on top, 9-1. We will be back right here on the Go Live Sportscast and WOBL Radio with MLIS playoff action.
We are the guardians of those who need care the most. We deliver state-of-the-art care through deliberate focus on every person's needs. And we are relentless in our pursuit of health for every person. We fight for equity, inclusion, and diversity every day. We don't just acknowledge barriers that impact health, we are inspired to eliminate them. We are devoted to hope, health, and humanity. We are Metro Health.
At Freeman, Damiano & Smith, we are always fighting for you. No matter the accident, no matter the injury, no matter the insurance company, we are fighting for you. Day, night, rain, shine, no exceptions. Suited up and armed with the experience and expertise, always on your side, and we never give up. Call us for a free consultation. When you want to win, Freeman, Damiano & Smith.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you've ever seen. Not the cleanest, just the most honest.
Today, we're fixing a home's foundation.
I mean, that is like the most common thing to see in the world.
Pretty common, yeah.
Right.
So it's the soil that's eroding away, causing those cavities, those voids that the foundation then wants to settle into.
And then you guys with your superhero capes show up and fix everything.
Yes, sir.
Get a free and honest inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
And we're back here on the Go Live Sportscast and here in Northeast Ohio on radio, WOBL Radio 107.7 FM, AM 1320, WOBLradio.com for the MLIS playoffs here in 2025. The Crunch, the defending champions of the league here in the semifinals. The number 1 seed taking on the 4 seed, PAO Chicago. They are on the power play, are the Crunch, up 9-1 in the third quarter.
A lot of time left, but for those of you listening, those of you watching, remember, tickets available at Ticketmaster.com for Sunday's 5 o'clock championship, theclevelandcrunch.com, tickets available, or if you're here at the game, I see some folks with the earbuds tuned in to WOBL. Grab them at the box office on your way out.
And, of course, the women's final tomorrow, Fort Wayne against Chicago Mustangs. In the women's final at 6 p.m. You can also get those tickets, Ticketmaster.com. Search the Cleveland Crunch, and all of that action will be also on the Go Live Sportscast tomorrow night.
Yeah, I wonder, too, if Mendoza's getting frustrated. He sends the ball upfield, and there was no one there to retrieve it.
Jordan Suljevic, a little miscommunication there at midfield. Now they'll reset, still on the power play. Jordan goes for a shot off the near boards all the way out to Suljevic. Suljevic takes a rip, and that one definitely had some power behind it as it bangs off a chair and goes behind the PAO Chicago net.
Remember, for the fans in the stands, that ball is not coming at you tamely, okay? The intent is to find the back of the net, and it's going to have everything on it it can.
Restart with 6:01 here in the third. We are scoreless here in the third quarter, but most of the scoring done by the Crunch in that second quarter with 6 of their 9 goals scored going into the halftime break. Foul on PAO, 5:51. Clock stops. Crunch and PAO will get a couple substitutions. Sveko in with Omar Najjar on defense. Najjar tries to find Kern. Good deflection from PAO. Schmidt tries to bring it down. Chicago tries to win it on the far boards. Here comes Schmidt again. He got our scoring started. Also has an assist to his name. And been doing a lot of work like that. Quick turns around the wall, even with seeing a double team defensively. Schmidt showing off that skill.
And deceptive speed, too, by Mr. Jonas Schmidt.
And now it looks like we'll have a call going against the Crunch. Or just a stoppage of play here, 5:17.
Yeah, you scan the field quickly, you scan the pitch quickly to see if there's anything you could find. I didn't see anything coming down, but the Crunch are going to get the ball. And actually, Chicago's going to get the ball back and take away the Crunch attack.
As we are back at even strength, 5-on-5 soccer. 6-on-6, including the goalkeepers. Marquez will take a shot, and Musa reading his lines perfectly. Kern on his own half of the field. He'll drop it back into the box to Musa. Out back to the wall to Kern. And a little back and forth trying to get PAO on their heels. And Musa will send a long ball all the way down. PAO traps it down. And great defense by Marquez, where PAO had an opportunity to maybe turn and have a one-on-one against Jonathan Mendoza.
Marquez would not allow that to happen. That is one special player.
Schmidt was looking for that off the wall, didn't get it to hit there. Mendoza was first to it.
You would think 9-1 Mendoza's spirit would be broken, not in any way, shape, or form. He's still as fired up and making great saves as the game progresses. 4:17 in the third, 9-1 Crunch.
Crunch working on some different rotations. It'll be 4:17 left. Crunch looking for that ball to go to the center spot in front of the box. The officials look like they're going to have this restart right along the boards. So Suljevic will look to get some space.
Coach Manfa screaming and yelling, both hands in the air over his head, pointing. He saw something. He wanted to make sure he told his team.
Jordan goes for a rip just past the upper corner on the far side of the goal.
Talk about upper 90. That would have been prototype.
Diaz gets pressured by Jordan. He'll try to find teammate making a run. Musa there. Collects with his foot, sends it out to Sveko, keeps play rolling, and the clock rolling at 3:54.
It's got to be frustrating to make you run and just have Mario come up and poke it away before he can get to the ball.
Here comes PAO. Marquez, step over once, step over twice, and then went a little too much. And Marquez goes to the turf. Crunch go the opposite direction. Suljevic, chip to Bozak, one-on-one with Mendoza. He tried to go for a cheeky little chip. Mendoza having none of it. I don't think Bozak got enough on that one to pop that up and over.
Another great save by Mendoza.
Coronado, he did commit the blue card foul, but he's back out there. Out of the penalty box, 3:12 here in the third. He traps it down against Minnick. Suljevic collects off the foot of Minnick. Crunch not in any hurry to counterattack as they continue to work their offense and movement. Now a little bit more pace with Mutemwa. PAO sprinting off that bench. Marquez there again. Marquez just so professional in the way that he defends. Gets his foot in there just at the right time. They always tell you in Soccer Munch, don't reach because someone will go by you. He doesn't reach. He just reads where the person, where his defender, his opponent is trying to go. Gets so many deflections.
He is a special player. Number 10 Marquez for the PAO Chicago Pathinotis.
So Mendoza, Crunch kind of backing off of that high press now as we get deeper into the third quarter. 2:14 left. Crunch 9, PAO Chicago 1, looking for another, and they're not able to convert there. Manzoni's their captain. Got taken off the ball by Spragling, who went from his forward position all the way back to defense to stop that attack. Now Marquez with a rip just off the far post. Oh boy, the left-footed curler. That time Musa was off his line and could not get back.
And Marquez basically stopped an attack, again, 1 against 2 Crunch players, and was able to convert.
Najar tries across to PAO. Squirts out to Schmidt at the top of the box. PAO trying to clear. Schmidt wins it again. He goes off the wall. Little clearance. Now it comes out to Chanchar as the Crunch have all 5 players over the midfield stripe.
Superb defense that time by Chicago. Boom!
Najar to PAO. And PAO puts home the 10th goal of the night for the Crunch. With 1:18 to go, we get our first goal scored here in the second half. And it is Gabriel PAO from Omar Najar. 10-1 Crunch in the third.
PAO's second of the game. Of course, he had one at 4:23 of the first. Once again, textbook indoor soccer by the Cleveland Crunch. Putting the ball where other player can strike it and bang. Goalie cannot react quick enough.
The unselfishness of this team, the depth of this team, no matter how talented you are, it comes in waves. PAO Chicago has been defending, showing off some skill. It's just the finishing touch is on the side of those in the red jerseys. And that is the Cleveland Crunch trying to hold serve at home and put themselves into the championship game alongside Amarillo, who won over Toronto earlier today 5-4. 47 seconds now in the third. Crunch now at that 10-1 lead off the latest goal from Gabriel Piwu. Bozak takes his little shimmy, takes a shot just off the near post. Kern collects, and he puts it home.
Oh, my.
I told you, Munch. Brian Kern is one that just finds what they call the trash in front of the net, and he knows exactly what to do. He only had 5 goals on the season, but every single one made an impact, especially a winner in Toronto against the Crusaders earlier this year. And Brian Kern makes it 11-1 with 33.7 seconds here in the third.
No doubt, Kern finding the back of the net, and that is another Cleveland Crunch goal! 11-1 Crunch. We're down to 25 seconds in the third.
And 23 seconds now as the Crunch win it yet again off the PAO restart. 15 seconds. You might see a change in goal going in the fourth quarter for the Crunch. Scott Santa, their backup goalkeeper, has his kit on and ready to go with 5 seconds now. They'll just knock the ball around, will the Crunch. Arriaga sends it down to Minnick, and the horn sounds. Crunch get 2 goals late there in the third, and they add to their lead, making it a 10-goal lead, 11-1 over PAO Chicago. With 15 minutes to go, 15 minutes separates the Crunch from another trip to the championship match on Sunday against Amarillo. I'm Kevin Arnold, Mark Munch Bishop. We will be back here on the Go Live Sportscast and WOBL Radio for your final quarter of MLS Semifinal number 2 in just a few moments.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
We are the guardians of those who need care the most. We deliver state-of-the-art care through deliberate focus on every person's needs. And we are relentless in our pursuit of health for every person. We fight for equity, inclusion, and diversity every day. We don't just acknowledge barriers that impact health, we are inspired to eliminate them. We are devoted to hope, health, and humanity. We are Metro Health.
At Freeman, Damiano & Smith, we are always fighting for you. No matter the accident, no matter the injury, no matter the insurance company, we are fighting for you. Day, night, rain, shine, no exceptions. Suited up and armed with the experience and expertise, always on your side, and we never give up. Call us for a free consultation. When you want to win, Freeman, Damiano & Smith.
We have played 7 quarters of playoff soccer here in the MLIS here on a Friday night in downtown Cleveland at the Wolstein Center on the campus of Cleveland State University. As we got 1 more quarter to go, as we give the go-ahead to the officials Officials looking for go-ahead from the goalkeepers. The Cleveland Crunch, the #1 seed here in the playoffs, doing what they've done all season long. They came in with a goal differential of plus 97, scoring 97 more goals than their opponents this season. And trust me, there are a lot of great teams here in MLIS. That is just what the Crunch have been doing to teams all season long. And PAO Chicago seeing that here this evening. 14:35 to go in the match. The Crunch up 11-1. I'm Kevin Arnold, joined by the original voice of the Crunch, Mark Munch Bishop, here on the Go Live Sportscast, courtesy of our LPV Productions crew, and audio on WOBL Radio, 107.7 FM, AM 1320. WOBL Radio, the official home for Cleveland Crunch soccer in the Northeast Ohio area. Suljevic with a shot, Mendoza with the save. That is brought to you by Miller Home Title in Sheffield Village, Ohio.
Mendoza is still up to the task, and he's going to be seeing soccer balls coming at him in his sleep for a few days now. Or I should say few nights.
So Diaz to Coronado. As the Crunch bring their 5 field players back behind the ball. Taking off that full field press, full court press. For those that are new to the indoor game or just soccer in general, if you know the game of basketball and those full court presses, that's what the Crunch try to do here in the indoor game, and it creates a lot of scoring opportunities, as it has here tonight. 11-1, they lead over PAO Chicago.
Chicago trying to stay in shape, by that I mean not do anything out of the ordinary, but when you're down 10 goals, it's almost as if they're playing to keep the Crunch from scoring anymore.
Manzonis was trying to find Coronado, who has ventured up to the forward position from his defender spot. Scott Santa does take over for the starter, Mario Musa. Santa came in 3-0 with a 3.87 goal against average, 30 saves on the season, and saving 74.5% of the shots he faces. So he gets a chance here in quarter number 4 to see some playoff action. The Crunch are working some different lines.
Great anticipation that time by Chicago, but it goes nowhere. That was Manzonis.
Stay tuned just for a few moments after this game ends. Mark Munch Bishop and myself, we will have some final thoughts and look ahead to the championship matchup. As Coronado went for the spectacular bicycle kick, just did not get any of it. Piwu leaks out and is all alone. Then Manzoni's the captain. A little shoulder to shoulder. And that's kind of what you want to see. You want to see that response. That is the frustration. That's the way you get out frustration. It's an even play, shoulder to shoulder munch between Manzonis and Piwu. No ill intent, nothing malicious, not a foul, just someone being a little bit more aggressive than the other.
Good physical indoor soccer. That's what this game is. Is it a game of beauty? It certainly is. It is the game of toughness. It certainly is on that too.
12:07 left here in the match. McCain Spragling playing some defense for the Crunch, as we said, some different lineups. Trying to build on that depth that they have, can get other guys step up in different positions.
McCain and Piru playing defense as well as they play offense.
Jordan, the captain, stays in his defensive position. Bozak, far wall. Takes a little bit of a push, but finds Santa. And he'll push it up to Piwu. And then Marquez, waving his finger at the official, definitely caught Piwu there.
He does.
And
well
then
said.
Jordan getting into it with Marquez, doesn't want to see his teammates getting hurt going towards, well, them being well on their way to the championship game. But you also don't want to see, if you're Antonio Manfoot, one of your top players costing himself the opportunity to play on Sunday if they make it there.
Well said. Again, 11-1 Crunch on top, 11:34 left in this contest. We're in the fourth quarter. Of course, what's at stake? Playing Amarillo for the league championship. 5 o'clock Sunday, back here at the Wolstein Center, downtown Cleveland.
And a chance for this Crunch organization to do something they haven't done in about 30 years, and that is playing for a championship here at home in front of the city of Cleveland, who just, if you are a Chicago fan or just a soccer fan in general, if you don't know anything about the city of Cleveland and their sports, We can attest to it. We'll hold that thought. Jordan with a shot. PAO Chicago looks to clear. And here they come on the break. Sveko, Wisely jumps over. PAO Chicago leaking out. And they'll find Diaz back at midfield. And then Piwu wins it.
We talked about Piwu's defense too, and there you see it. He's rangy, he's fast, he's quick, he's got good reaction.
As we were just saying, Munch, just like fans in places like Chicago, even Toronto and Amarillo, the two other teams that played earlier, Amarillo winning 5-4, loyal fan bases, and Cleveland definitely one of those cities, sports cities. As we know, many of the Chicago fans watching us here tonight know all about what a fan base, a loyal fan base is like as they go through similar things that we do here, two Midwest cities that always seem to match up somehow, some way in different sports. Any Cleveland fans watching us here tonight not able to make it out, again, search tickets for both the women's final tomorrow at 6, men's final at 5 on Sunday. Ticketmaster.com, search the Cleveland Crunch. Tickets are available there. And if you were watching us and did not watch the Cleveland Guardians tonight, they win their 4th game in a row, 7-0 over the Kansas City Royals down at Progressive Field. We are here at the Wolstein Center on the campus at Cleveland State. As PAO Chicago has an opportunity, far corner, 10:06 left here in quarter number 4, 11-1 crunch. I'm Kevin Arnold, joined by Mark Munch Bishop. Thank everyone that has tuned in throughout the day for both of the semifinals. Scott Santa comes out, heads the ball away, and gets a big cheer from the crowd here as watching their home team. Najjar going for a fancy pass there off the outside of his foot. Again, I think a message from Antonio Manfred here in this 4th quarter, Munch. Tell me if you disagree. Yes, the fancy stuff is there for them to do, but you don't want to get out of your principles and out of your routine here in the 4th quarter so that you don't take any of those habits into Sunday if you are to make it there. And
100%. Antonio Manfred is a taskmaster, but he demands precision. And when you kind of freelance a little bit and try to do some fancy things, that is not the precision. Now, if you've got a breakaway and there's something that you see, that's different. But right now, the Crunch have been very precise this entire game.
They always talk about do the Crunch 1 quarter at a time. That is how they approach. Sounds cliche, but that's exactly what they do, and they try to win every quarter they go out and play. They don't say every game, they say every quarter. Bozak with a shot fading away from goal, and Mendoza down to collect. 9:13 left.
Almost every possession too, Kevin. You can see that the mindset of this Crunch team.
11-1, that ball goes out of play off the foot of Mendoza on the far wall. Plenty, if you are watching us, plenty of great sponsors for the Crunch and MLIS. Some of the most partners I've ever seen along some of these walls, and that is a great thing to see for this sport in this country.
Back up the Crunch too in a big, big way. They're giving us championships. They're giving us excitement. They're giving us city. When I say us, there's no doubt I am a Clevelander.
As Jordan thought maybe that one was going out of play. Still won by PAO Chicago as Coronado back to his defensive position. Sees 2 defenders in Sujevic and Piwu, looking for someone to open up. Someone finally does. Mondragoon.
And the Crunch have not backed off on their defensive intensity also. You say, well, they haven't scored with 8:31 to go here in the 4th. There's no need to. You're up 11-1. But they are they're stifling the Chicago attack.
Shot Santa down to a kick save. Pushes that one away. Coronado was there trying to finish it. Now a shot deflected by Jordan. Coronado collects, then Piwu wins it. He tries to attack, and then there's 4 PAO Chicago players around him, and he collects a foul. Clock stops, 8:07 here in the match. Crunch in control, 11-1. 8:07 separates them from a return trip 2 years in a row to the championship game here in MLIS.
It is not easy to not just win a championship, to get back 2 years in a row with the competition, as you mentioned, the great teams in this league, and the Crunch seem to be rising above, the cream rising to the top once again.
Coronado sees a second blue card on the game as Spragling does some push-ups, and then Marquez gets a yellow card on the far side away from the play for dissent against the officials. So he will not be able to see any action for 5 minutes, so he'll get about a minute or 2 minutes when he comes back. Now you don't have to take a player off the field you shouldn't have to take a player off the field for a yellow card, but there are only 3 PAO Chicago players, so this might be a yellow card where they deem you must go down an extra player, so this would be 5-on-3 soccer.
Talk about putting the fear of the maker in you with the firepower that the Crunch has, having to face them with 3, and especially the netminder who has been brilliant today. Mendoza has to be thinking, okay, let's just do what I do best, and that is keeping the ball from hitting the back of the net. Say much, but Crunch have 11 goals. Well, without the stellar play of Mendoza, it could be double that total.
And this is another chance for the Crunch to work on their power play offense. It is 5-on-4.
Well said.
I played this game. I've been around the game of soccer all my life. I should just stick with my confidence, not allow the confusion amongst the referees to change my call of it. So it'll be 5-on-4. Marquez again saw a yellow card. That is 5 minutes in the box. Blue card to Coronado, his second of the match. He is out for 2 minutes. That does require 1 player to be taken off. Minnick into the chest of Mendoza, and that one sent away all the way back to Scott Santa. 7:33 left in the match.
Mendoza does not quit. Mendoza does not stop. He is brilliant between the posts.
Suljevic to the far wall to Ryan Minnick. Back up top to Suljevic. To his right to Dave Jordan. Jordan was trying to play that one off the wall. Najjar was trying to almost overlap his defender to win that one. Kern in the mix in front of Mendoza. He sends it away. 7:04 ticking fourth quarter clock. 11-1 Cleveland Crunch over PAO Chicago.
Just a little pitch and catch here for the Crunch, waiting for the shot.
Jordan gets his shot blocked. Goes across to Suljevic. Now Minnick crosses the field to the near wall to Jordan. And then nothing called. Looked like Jordan took down. Yes, he did. And Jordan not happy with how easily he went down, but Jordan did catch Ochoa.
Some conversation going on. I don't think it's going to the Rascal House after 15.
I don't think so. I do not think so. A great local pizza shop here in Northeast Ohio is the Rascal House. Actually, they will call a dive on PAO Chicago on Ochoa. Looked like Jordan did catch him, but officials saw what Jordan saw, going down a little too easily with minimal contact. 6:41.
Jordan pointed that out immediately, too.
Suljevic finds Najjar, 1-2 with Kern. Minnick, left foot, converts the power play goal. Gives a bow to the crowd. And that is another, they just continue to add icing on to this cake of a semifinal game. Minnick gets the crowd that is stuck around here, up 12-1 into it, 6:41 to go. We just said Crunch now 12-1, and a timeout will be called. And we will head to a quick commercial break. We'll actually hold things right here just to make sure, as PAO is out there ready to restart and Crunch coming together. So PAO goes to their timeout, Crunch go to their timeout. 6:41 left in the fourth. Crunch on top, 12-1 here in MLIS semifinal playoff action.
At Freeman, Damiano & Smith, we are always fighting for you. No matter the accident, no matter the injury, no matter the insurance company, we are fighting for you. Day, night, rain, shine, no exceptions. Suited up and armed with the experience and expertise, always on your side, and we never give up. Call us for a free consultation. When you want to win, Freeman, Damiano & Smith.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you've ever seen. Not the cleanest, Just the most honest.
Today, we're fixing a home's foundation.
I mean, that is like the most common thing to see in the world.
Pretty common, yeah.
Right.
So it's the soil that's eroding away, causing those cavities, those voids that the foundation then wants to settle into.
And then you guys with your superhero capes show up and fix everything.
Yes, sir.
Get a free and honest inspection with Ohio Basement Authority, a groundworks company.
And we are back here on the MLIS Go Live Sportscast. Action here in the semifinals 2025 on the men's side of things. Crunch looking to close this one out well in control, 12-1 over PAO Chicago, the 1 seed over the 4 seed. I'm Kevin Arnold, joined by Mark Munch Bishop. We are on the Go Live Sportscast, production by our LPD Productions crew, and audio on WOBL Radio, Lorain County Country here in Northeast Ohio. They are the Northeast Ohio home and the official home for Cleveland Crunch soccer, courtesy of Miller Home Title in Sheffield Village, Ohio. And of course, you can always stream. You can listen to them 107.7 FM, AM 1320, streaming WOBLradio.com. We thank their entire team for supporting all of this action throughout the season.
If there were boxes to be checked, the Crunch have checked each and every one of them today for everything that they've needed to do. Passing, defense, collapsing, packing it in.
P-Woo.
Scoring again.
You talked about the passing. Gabriel P-Woo puts another one to his name. Spraggling. And it's hard to see. I think Bozak was involved down there. Gabriel P-Woo jumps over the wall to go hang out with some of the crowd, some of the fans, and he gets a yellow card for excessive celebration. One that I know that he would earn, and you take that, but you also want to make sure you stay engaged in what you're happening. But these guys have been waiting for an opportunity like this in front of their home fans. I'm sure PAO Chicago and Chicago Mustangs would be the same way with games in Chicago, to have a big facility like this with all the great fans that they have in Chicago, because they show up and show out. When you were watching those streams on Go Live, Munch.
Oh, they were packing it.
They are packing those places. So, you know, just trying to engage with the fans here. As like I said, I'm sure if you were anybody playing in their hometown would want to do in big moments like that. P-Woo makes it 13-1. 5:40 to go here in the fourth.
You talk about loyalty. We know about the loyalty for Clevelanders. You mentioned earlier, I've got a son and daughter in Chicago, and they're saying, Dad, this city is Cleveland, but with 6 million people, so you mentioned how intense that gets.
Yes, absolutely. You got the north side and the south side for baseball. You got the Bears, who have gone through similar issues as the Browns, especially trying to find that franchise quarterback. The Bulls, a legendary franchise. Of course, everybody knows Michael Jordan. They're trying to carve their own path. And so many historic things that you could talk about with both of these cities, and why the matchups just naturally become rivalries anytime in any sport. A Cleveland team matches up with a Chicago team, and you absolutely love to see it.
And being a Buckeye homer, honk, and shill, I will state now, as much as I enjoy watching Caleb Williams play, Justin Fields was not the problem with the Bears. Quote me on that one, Chicago fans. They'll agree with me.
I'm sure there are many Chicago fans that will agree with you on that.
The Lord on me for that one.
4:52, Najjar off the wall. Kern looking for a shot. Great block by Diaz. Then outside the foot from Najjar. Mendoza, what a save. Najjar scored from a very similar angle and shot earlier. Mendoza definitely making the adjustment there.
Little chippiness again as the game goes on.
And neither coach, neither team wants to see that at the end. You want to finish this the right way for the Crunch. They are pretty much set, almost set, 4:23 away from going to the championship game. You don't want to get lulled into the extracurriculars that takes your opportunity to be involved in that match away. If you're PAO Chicago, you don't want to do something that harms your team, harms what people think about the team, because this is a talented team, this is a hard-working team in PAO Chicago, and that's what you want to be known for and continue to be known for. Looked like Manzonis had a little bit of a handball there, but
Santa was motioning handball. I don't believe that's going to be called. It didn't affect anything with 4:09 left in the game and the 13-1 crunch lead.
Schmidt, Mendoza blocks that one away off the far wall. Now Manzonis trying to find Coronado, who's definitely venturing further and further up the field. Has a little bit of that foot skill, but has gotten into some action here that's taken him off the field and not allowed him to play. Schmidt tried to find Minnick, goes to Spragling off the wall, and now Diaz goes the other way with 3:35 left in the match.
Something you said before, very prophetic also, is that the crunch need to finish the game, how they started it, how they played each and every quarter, because it will translate to Sunday.
Here comes Schmidt as he just slow walks the ball over midfield and will dribble back towards the center spot into his own half, back to Spragling. Najjar was making the run, Spragling a little too far ahead of him, and the crunch retreat.
3 minutes left in the contest. 3 minutes, 13-1, crunch on top. Apparently headed towards a match against the Amarillo Bombers for the championship of the league Sunday at 5.
Which again, just stick around just a couple minutes, a couple quick moments after the match. We'll have just a quick wrap up on this one and the action here today, and a preview of that championship game. If you are here in town, or if you're a fan of Amarillo or Cleveland or just soccer in general, and you can make it to Cleveland on Sunday, get tickets, Ticketmaster.com, search the Cleveland Crunch, and please come out and support Fort Wayne and Chicago, the Chicago Mustangs, the women's championship tomorrow. Two great teams you're going to want to see tomorrow night, 6 p.m. You can't make it out. The Go Live Sportscast will have all that action for MLIS Women's Championship tomorrow night.
The league has to be happy, too, with the Cleveland Crunch organization has put on just a wonderful, marvelous event, flawless, and it's very, very special. It shows you the ownership, which is a very important part, another reason for the success of this Crunch team.
Mendoza with it, under 2 minutes now. Cool little back heel flick from Roman. But the Crunch again continue to win the ball. Just when the PAO Chicago looked to be on the attack, there's the Crunch, and they just quickly get over midfield. Roman now with space to dribble over midfield. Has Coronado open if he can find him. Goes with the outside of the foot instead, and Coronado gives him the field goal sign of it's good, his own teammate. As that's the type of chemistry and stuff that these teams have. Munch, I mean, I know it's a tough moment for PAO, but still having a little bit of fun with it, and well-earned opportunity to be here, and a team that I expect even bigger things from in 2026.
I don't know if you just noticed, but the Crunch are up by 12 with a minute and a half. Ryan Minnick went from all the way on the attacking end, flew back to play defense. Once again, habits are great to be formed.
And this is, Brian Kern on a shot and a goal. Kern gets another one, makes it 14-1 with 1:18 to go. As the Crunch keep playing and keep that high intensity going. Fans across the way, see a guy with, I think that's one of the great Crunch fans, Jason, with the hat with the siren light on top. Fans, I know, were a little disappointed they weren't able to bring in noisemakers here to the Wolstein Center. But
that's the lack of vuvuzelas then.
Yes, it is. But
I'm laughing because my wife is in Johannesburg right now. Went to a soccer match today, and she said she still has a headache.
Well, none of that here, but just a lot of goals scored. 14-1 Crunch. And I was going to say, Munch, for PAO Chicago, as we kind of wind things down under a minute to go, this recording will be...
Marquez definitely getting a little heated here as things wind down.
And that's a 6th foul on PAO. You definitely don't want to see Marquez take a player on a team that heading to the championship game out. And I know that his team doesn't want him to do that. But real quick on the point with PAO Chicago. This recording will be out there to watch on replay. PAO Chicago has the skill, the talent, the attention to detail, and the focus that the Crunch team have. That is what teams here at MLIS, you want to continue to climb the ladder and contend with teams like that. That is exactly what you watch and take it right back at teams, because when you get your own principles sent back at you, it can be a shock and you can lose some games because teams take your action right back at you.
Jordan turned away on the penalty kick on the shootout.
35 seconds. Jordan goes down. 36.4, the clock stops. So just a few moments left.
You know, there is some tension too. I mean, number one, you're getting beat 14-1 and you're a very good team, which in turn shows you what, the Crunch were flawless today. It was a clinical. They were surgeons, the kind of surgeons that you see at the Cleveland Clinic that I'd like to have operate on me because they're successful.
As Manfoot tells his team to keep sending the ball back into their own half, just keep knocking the ball around between feet, work on that keep away game. Ball always moves faster by the pass than the dribble. Marquez against Jordan. Jordan lays off, and then a foul on Marquez, 14.9, and I believe that might be a 6th foul here in the second half on the Crunch as they start walking to the other direction. Luis Marquez scored on the first one. He'll try to do it against Scott Santa after doing it to Mario Musa in quarter number 2.
Marquez has the walk. He has the look of a gunfighter going out to the middle of the street to see who's got the quickest draw. We'll see if Santa can turn him away.
14.9 seconds. Luis Marquez will have a shootout opportunity. Scott Santa with that back foot on the white line. Whistle blows. Marquez, a fake, tries to score and does, as Mutemwa came to help out Santa. He had finally caught up. What a great job by Marquez to hold it just long enough and poke it through both defenders in Santa and Mutemwa. Luis Marquez adds a second one for his team as the Crunch get their fans on their feet. 10.5 left on the fourth quarter clock, leading 14-2.
You think that was the easy goal by Marquez? It definitely was not. He's a special player. I noted that throughout this contest.
As sportsmanship shows, buzzer sounds, and it is official. The Cleveland Crunch return to the MLIS championship match here at the Wolstein Center at 5 p.m. Eastern Time here in Cleveland, Ohio, against the Amarillo Bombers as they win 14-2 over PAO Chicago. Pleasantries being acknowledged between both, pictures being taken, players, coaches acknowledging the fans here from the Crunch. And so they will play for the championship, try to go back-to-back from 2024 to 2025 in front of their home fans. If you are in the area or can make it out, 5 p.m. Sunday, Ticketmaster.com, search the Cleveland Crunch and make it out here to the Wolstein Center on the campus of Cleveland State University. I'm Kevin Earl along with Mark Munch Bishop. Just a couple moments to wrap things up. Just your final thoughts, Munch, on this match for both the Crunch and PAO Chicago.
You were waiting for the fireworks to start early and often, and they did. The Crunch in those 2 goals, 36 seconds apart. But there's no doubt in my mind, the Crunch put the through their line in the sand in the second quarter of play with 6 goals, and that just really was insurmountable. Chicago did not have any answers after that. Net minding was brilliant on both sides. You say, Much, how can it be brilliant for Chicago when they gave up 14 goals? My friend, make no mistake about it. The netminder was brilliant for Chicago. Mendoza was a special player, and it could have been much, much worse. But the bottom line is the Crunch put on a clinic. Everything they did is as if they were practicing, but at an enhanced level, because, of course, the speed is much greater when you're playing an actual game. The Crunch did everything they needed to do. Everyone got involved, too. really, we always talk about Sulovich and Mikey Derzic, the dynamic duo of the 21st century. Oh, they figured into the game, but other players stepped up in a big, big way. Names that we weren't even sure would contribute at the beginning of the season. And actually, that's a tribute to these young men. That's a tribute to Antonio Manfred, the head coach.
And what a night for Cleveland sports fans as the Crunch win and move on to the championship match. They win 14-2 over PAO Chicago. The Guardians, the baseball team here in town, win 7-0 over the Royals from Kansas City. And the Cleveland Cavaliers get their 64th win on the season, coming back from a big deficit in New York.
They were losing almost the entire game.
And they win 108-102. Plus, I'm sure there's some Cleveland fans, plenty of Cleveland fans happy Joe Flacco has returned to the city of Cleveland today as well. So a great day for Cleveland, but more importantly, a great day for soccer here in the city of Cleveland and these fans that came out to see their team. And they'll get to see them one more time on Sunday. So real quick, Munch, a preview of that matchup. Amarillo beating Toronto 5-4, never leading in that match until there were 5 minutes left. And I told you kind of in one of our breaks here.
But you have some interesting thoughts about this Amarillo team.
Amarillo, while the Crunch have a lot of firepower, Amarillo, they played a slow-paced game where kind of slow walk you into feeling comfortable that you're in front of the ball, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're making a run towards the net. And I told you, Amarillo has a chance where if they can slow walk the Crunch into, okay, this team is playing at a slower pace, we are much faster. If they don't stay on their P's and Q's and keep that high pressure and they get slow walked into that, you could be slow walked into some mistakes.
And guarantee, too, that the Amarillo netminder played a lot of the game on the offensive side of the pitch. So he's going to come up in a big, big way, which means what? The Crunch have to be aware to attack when they can, or with their lethal powder kegs or legs, shoot the ball upfield.
So your final, again, from the Wolstein Center here in MLIS semifinal number 2. The Crunch move on to the championship match against the number 2 seed Amarillo on Sunday. Tomorrow night it will be Fort Wayne versus Chicago, the Chicago Mustangs, the women's final at 6 p.m. right here at the Wolstein Center. Tickets there, Ticketmaster.com, as well. Search the Cleveland Crunch, and you'll find all those tickets.
You'll be on the call tomorrow along with Gianluca also?
We will actually have our guy Tanner that's been calling all the women's games throughout the year.
Oh, fantastic.
He will be on the call tomorrow. You and I and Gianluca will all return on Sunday for the men's final on Sunday, and it'll be a true honor to do that. And more conversation on why after that match in certain circumstances. So for Mark Munch Bishop, Gianluca DiGiacomo, our LPV Productions crew, Max Weber, Spencer Mills, Jacob Tillip, our production director, Peter Tillip, assistant production director, Jim Wagner. I'm Kevin Arnold. Thank you all so much for tuning in to great MLIS action here tonight on the Go Live Sportscast and, of course, WOBL Radio here in town, here in Northeast Ohio. Have a great night, everybody.